Good afternoon. My name is Mike Zlatnik. I'm the manager of Tempo Opportunity Fund. And today it is my pleasure and a privilege to welcome Dr. Merril Rowe to this short Q&A discussion. Hi, Merril. How are you?
I'm doing great, Mike. How are you?
I'm great. Could you tell a little bit about yourself to the listeners? Where do you practice dental arts? Where do you live?
Okay. Well, I own a dental practice in Aurora, Colorado, which is just outside of Denver proper. I've had my practice for 34 years. I've been a dentist for 37 years, and I'm transitioning out of practice. I currently have a partner, and we're making arrangements to bring somebody in to replace me and give me the life of freedom. That's what I want.
That's great. We met through Freedom Founders. You're building financial freedom and a freedom of being able to retire from your practice and do things you like to do.
Exactly. I was attracted to Freedom Founders for largely the same reason that I was attracted to you, Mike. Freedom Founders gave me an alternative to being in the stock market and gave me a chance to sleep at night. Most everybody out there has taken one of these tests about what's your tolerance for risk. And everybody answers it dishonestly. I know I did. And things are great when the market's going up all the time. And then the first time you have a really bad series of days, all of a sudden you wonder, where's this going to go in a month? Do I hold on? What's this going to do to my retirement? And all sorts of irrational fears creep into your head. And I realized that no matter what my return was in the market, that I couldn't live that way because there wasn't enough antacid in the world to calm my stomach. So Freedom Founders offered me an alternative through real estate to be able to predict my investment success, relatively speaking, and to provide me with a reliable cash flow through my investments.
Merril, that sounds great. I appreciate your desire to finally move away from the Wall Street into sort of the alternative investment space. So a little bit about Tempo Opportunity Fund. We are an alternative investment fund that invests in real estate. And Merril, what's attracted you to Tempo Opportunity Fund as an alternative investment fund?
Well, Mike, for one thing, listening to you initially, you did a presentation of Freedom Founders, and I found very informative. You knew your stuff, and I knew you knew your stuff because I had done enough research now to know who did and who didn't know their stuff. And what you were doing was what I wanted to do if I had the time and experience and resources. So in a nutshell, that's it. You provided me with an avenue to invest my money exactly right down the slot that I wanted to be in.
I appreciate your kind word. Yeah, that's the strength about a fund. It enables investors to take their money and instead of doing individual deals, put them into a diversified vehicle like a fund and achieve stable and predictable results instead of trying to do a single deal or taking other risks unrelated to the market conditions. But individual investing does have their pluses and minuses, and fund is a diversified vehicle to enter the space. So have you been satisfied with the returns of the fund?
Most definitely. I already knew what my number was for retirement, and I knew what I needed to get out of my portfolio. And then I got a little greedy because basically speaking, I found out that I could earn a little more, so I set a little bit higher target. So my current target for my portfolio is 10% across the board, and the Tempo Fund has consistently exceeded that, so I'm quite happy. I'll take anything more than the 10%. It's not like I'm going to give it back, but that's what I was looking for. And so I have peace of mind there too, knowing there's a little bit of a cushion.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I appreciate your thoughts on the history. So besides the returns, how has your experience been interacting with myself, my team, the fund itself? So besides the numbers, How have you found the fund? Are we running the fund as a white box, as a black box?
No, I'm going to interrupt you right now to tell you, you guys are very transparent, very, very open, and you speak in pretty plain English. I mean, everybody has to learn a little bit of the lingo of real estate in the investing world, but once you know that, everything's very simple to follow. It's all very, very clear.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So have you had a chance to participate in the quarterly calls, or at least watch quarterly calls and look at the quarterly investor presentations after the call, if you have not been able to join every call?
Yeah, I actually just listened in on the calls after the fact, which is fine because you answer all my questions before I ask them. It's not really an issue. And everything's, again, been very transparent. I know where the money is going. I know what it's being put in. I know what your outlook is for things. And in general, I found you to be fairly conservative and safe. You're not taking any big risks with our money. And when I say our, there are a number of other people in the fund as well. And as far as your team goes, you in particular have been very easy to communicate with. Paperwork can sometimes be a little daunting in getting your money into a fund, and you guys have been great with helping me out. The sign here, do this, do that stuff is actually the hardest part of getting into the fund. That's about it.
I appreciate that. A little bit of paperwork is necessary to get you or anybody else subscribed. I've had good experiences and great experiences and a little bit extra, red tape. We have to go through the process. Unfortunately, there is no other way.
No, I understand.
Kind word. Would you recommend Tempo Opportunity Fund to other dentists and other professional colleagues?
Most definitely. To everybody else, I now say, well, would you let a broker on Wall Street do a root canal on you if you had an abscessed tooth? And the answer, of course, is not. So why should you be doing your own investing? Do you think you know it all? I don't really think you do. I found out I didn't. I'm not going to go through all the misadventures I've had with my retirement funds, just to tell you that I know that I don't know enough to do it all. So if you've got an eye on your portfolio and you're not really sure how to handle it and you want to get out of the stock market and into the alternative investing field, Tempo Opportunity Fund's a great way to go.
I appreciate that those thoughts, they mean a lot to me. Being a fund manager, I take pride in our work. I love real estate. This is my passion, and hearing it from you is greatly appreciated. Any other thoughts, any other feedback on the fund, working with us? Just kind of final thoughts.
Really and truly, when you invest, or at least when I invest, I try not to jump around. I want to invest for the long haul. One of the things that's attractive about real estate is it's always going to be there. People have been living in houses and going to workplaces for an awful long time. So there's going to be some stability there. We don't know if Facebook is going to be supplanted by the next Facebook in 10 years, 12 years, or whatever, or 3 years. We don't know which next widget is going to come along and make our iPhones obsolete. So in that sense, real estate is very, very, and I hate to use the word safe, but really that's the word, safe, way to invest your money. And I found the Tempo Opportunity Fund seems to have my interests and my concerns handled pretty well. And Mike's, again, been great in talking to me and letting me know what's going on each step of the way.
Merril, thank you so much for your thoughts. I wanted to actually add to your point. This is how we invest. The fund, as a fund manager, we think of a long term. How do we invest fund capital in the deals that generate both current income, provide stability and predictability of that, at the same time maintain level of safety. While we do that, we also invest in a project that have growth in the form of forced appreciation, where there is value built through renovation, construction, and predictable cash flow. So I greatly appreciate your thoughts that it's a long-term investment. We try to do both. We focus on quarterly cash flow and results to produce the income. At the same time, our primary goal is long-term asset preservation, increase of the cash flow, and increasing the value of the long-term assets. So that's my view of the world.
Yep, and it's what I'm after. And I guess I should have mentioned that, yeah, you can pull cash flow out of the fund. But what I was really talking about is the fact that when you're in the market and your broker talks to you, he says, you know, this is where I think you should be now. This is where the market's moving. And no, you need to get out of these stocks and into these stocks. And you get churned and sometimes burned. I know I have been. And what I mean is that real estate is going to be there for the long haul, and it may be a different property here, there, or elsewhere, and a different form of the deal in real estate, but it's going to be real estate, and it's solid.
Yeah, I agree. We only invest in real estate. We invest either in promissory notes secured by real estate or direct projects real estate. And the beauty about the fund is a couple of words. We diversify among many subclasses, such as self-storage, multifamily, some retail, single family, and so forth. So from that perspective, it's all real estate, various types of real estate, but it's all there. It's all real estate.
That's right.
Merril, thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you very soon at the Freedom Founders in about a week.
About a week and a half. I'll see you then.